Welcome to another A Day in the Life of. Today, I have with me A Day in the Life of Revenue Ops. I have Lizzie from Relative Insight. I have Etienne from Stonely, and I have Aileen from Market Logic Software. So with no further ado, I will let my guests introduce themselves. So I will start with Lizzie. Tell me more about you.
Hi, I'm Lissy and I work in RevOps here at Relative Insight. To be honest, I got into RevOps not having any idea what it was. I left university and worked at my previous company, and sort of when into it thinking, I don't really know. Sitting in a RevOps role, you'll learn a lot about how a business works, which I definitely did very, very quickly. And now I sort of run a whole RevOps function here at Relative Insight. So for all of our commercial team, I'm sort of doing everything that is to do with RevOps for them. And I'm currently spending the majority of my time with our new CRM. So we've just implemented a new CRM, so setting that all up. So yeah, that's me.
Sounds like fun. Etienne.
It is, some days, not so much some days.
Etienne, how about you?
Yes, I've been working in RevOps now for more than 3 years, and I wouldn't expect to be working in that sector too. Prior to that, I've been working in e-commerce and retails in supply chain and sales functions. And so 3 years ago, I switched to RevOps, and I work since a year at Stonely. I've been working on the last year of setting up the basics, mainly related to the CRM, like Lizzie.
Oh, there you go. So we have already something in common here.
Yeah.
Last but not least, Aileen, how about you?
Hello. Yes, I'm working at Market Logic Software since 4 months now. This is the first time I'm working as a revenue operations manager. And previously I worked mostly as a financial analyst and in sales and in systems. So all of these three things combined enabled me to work in this position. And so far, yeah, as Lizzie was saying, I'm also participating with the implementation of the new CRM. I mean, it's already implemented, but I've just focused on this. And it's for me so far, I think it's one of the jobs that it's more fun since I started a long time ago, and because you are able to see the performance of different teams, and what you do really impacts on others. So yeah, for me so far, I love it.
Great, awesome. So I think that's a great way to start as well. So Lisa, you mentioned that you are finishing implementing the CRM. So how does your day usually typically look like?
Yeah, so it's a good question because it can be extremely varied. At the moment, we sort of have I guess like a long wish list of things that we want to be able to do within our CRM. If you'd have asked me a few months ago, that wish list would have been about 50 million times longer than it is now, because we've got all the bulk of things done. But now it's really about prioritization for me. So working out which route I should go down next, because in the job of RevOps, like there's constantly improvements that can be made, and obviously every team has their own priorities and things which they say they need now, their urgencies. So it's about working out which path we should go down next, and who it's going to help improve, and what we're going to get from it. But I'd say it's quite tough to say a typical day, because
everyone says that, by the way. Never.
Yeah, I can imagine. I may have a plan for the week. I think that's probably a bit more that's a better way of looking at it. And I have my sort of maybe 3 to 5 key things that I know I need to get done that week. But I might come in one day and something's happened, a report's gone missing, something's gone wrong, and the whole day will then be done trying to fix that.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, but I also would say for RevOps, it is really a challenge sometimes to be proactive instead of reactive. And I've spent a lot of my last few months being reactive. So people saying, I need this, and me doing it. And it's actually now trying to shift that to being proactive and doing it before they spot it, type thing.
I will go deeper on the challenges after, but Etienne, how about you? Do you relate what Liz is saying? Is it a bit different for you?
Yes, it's completely the same regarding the every each day is a specific day, and it's really one of the challenge of the RevOps function. I think well, in my perspective, is to be able to manage your time in a productive way, and this is one of the biggest challenges because you have a lot of requests. And to go back to your initial question, I would divide my day in 3 different topics. Like, first, the operational things, like making sure that the business teams have what they need in terms of operations to do their day. So that is to say, making sure that the leads are coming in, making sure that for the other part of the funnel, like the customer success operations are working, those kind of things. The second thing is here dealing with the emergencies, because there are always emergencies. And third things is a project management, where you are more in a step back on step back topics and building things and create things. And so yes, this is more the what this is the part where you get into the ideas world before getting into the concrete world.
I see.
But I would divide the day around these 3 kind of of tasks.
How about you, Aileen? Is that more or less the same for you? Do you divide it differently?
Yeah, I mean, I agree that every day is can vary. Or enough task. I think we are in a position that we help so many teams that we are constantly being reached out to help many people. And time management is a key topic in this job. And for me, I would say I'm mostly focused in the operational part, would be mostly related to bookings, in order processing, and then I'm participating in specific projects that have a goal of optimizing a workflow, a different workflow. And it could be related to marketing, it could be related to sales, or it could be related to services. It depends. But mostly right now, what I'm doing is participating in these projects to optimize the workflows.
Makes sense, makes sense. And Lisi, you mentioned that a challenge you have is being proactive and not reactive in your role. How does success look like in revenue ops roles?
Yeah, it's a good question, and something which I think about a lot, actually, because it's quite hard to measure success in a RevOps role, which I'm sure is something that everyone on this call can agree with. It's the thing with RevOps is where it works really, really well if you don't know that it's there. So if you're speaking to RevOps every day and you know exactly what they're doing, it's probably because something's gone wrong or you're trying to fix something. So actually, you know that RevOps themselves and the team are being successful when they're literally in the background and you don't have a clue what they're working on, which sometimes for us, it can be a challenge to make sure that people know the things that we're doing all of the time. So I think for me personally, like, I get from success from seeing the improvements that the team are having by using, say, a CRM or having RevOps there to pull these numbers and these stats for them that they need. But I think for me, the time that RevOps is most successful is when you don't even know they're there.
Is it the same for you, Etienne?
Yes, exactly. I was about to say we know that we do well our job when people don't reach out to us. So yes, and it's really hard because we are business facilitators, and so we know that our jobs are concretely impacting the business and the unit economics, but not directly. Like it's not like the sales, they close, they don't close, they get MRR or not, and it's easy to measure. Our job is really harder to measure in terms of KPIs.
Yeah.
But
speaking of which, do you have KPIs?
Like, I honestly, we have like how to say, we have qualitative objectives.
Yeah.
We don't have quantitative.
Yeah.
But yes, but then it depends what you understand about how do you define KPIs.
Yes. I see. So basically, like, your KPI is like the least calls you have from people asking for help would be like a qualitative thing to look at.
If I would need to be more specific, one thing could be, did you deliver the project that you were supposed to be delivering in the right time with the correct level of service to the teams? That would be some KPIs, but you don't have a scorecard to measure that.
Yeah. Aileen, is it the same for you? Do you look at KPIs, OKRs, project delivery?
I have OKRs, yeah. I'm pretty new, right? So I started 4 months ago, but however, I still define my OKRs, and this is how we are going to measure my success, basically. But I agree with what they say. Basically, if you are not reached out, it means you are doing something well, let's say. But I have OKRs, and I have specific projects, because at the moment I'm focused on optimizing some flows, and then those are very specific goals that for me are on a quarter basis, basically. Achieved on a quarter basis.
That makes sense. And for your job, and you also mentioned out of this group you just started a couple of months ago, besides the onboarding, of course, that your company gives you, how did you get more inspiration and knowledge to get your to improve at your job? Did you go to any LinkedIn communities or books, any sources of knowledge that you use to help you?
At the moment, when I need to know something in particular, I just use the magic source, Google. But I mean, I already have a background in different parts, and I'm very focused on the systems right now, on the optimizing the CRM flows, and I already worked as a business application manager before, so more or less it's more about getting it done right now.
Makes sense.
So
I think so. I think, like, I also use a lot of my different backgrounds to do the jobs I do, even though they are not directly related, but you can definitely use previous job knowledge from previous jobs. Lisi, how do you get inspired for your job?
Oh, wow. Well, it's hard to pinpoint it down, because I think a lot of things feed into that. For me, I have an amazing manager who's also been on one of these podcasts.
I love her. She's really amazing.
She's an enablement. So the way that it works at our company is enablement, sort of like the overarching team, and then RevOps is a section of that. I get really inspired when I build something, sort of say by myself without support, that works and that the team instantly see improvements on. So like we said, RevOps works well when no one knows that you're there, so doing things in the background, but then when people notice it and give you those shout outs, that is just a really great feeling. And again, sometimes it can come sort of quite few and far between, not all the time, because obviously everyone has their own priorities and their own roles, and they're focused on what they're doing. But the occasional comment like, oh, I saw this and this helped me so much, or this improved what I was working on, or this saved me so much time. When you hear things like that, you think, great, this is brilliant, I've got to keep doing it, and you can really see the benefit there.
Etienne, do you also report to sales enablement or report to, because I know RevOps, depending on the company, report to different roles.
Yeah, and specifically, I think since it's really recent functions that, like for instance, state company has, each company have its definitions of RevOps. But for me, I report to the head of data and strategic initiatives. And prior to that, I was working in another company reporting to the COO, so it was kind of different. But the things that I use to be inspired is I'm in a community which is called Business Operations Network, which is dedicated to operations, mainly in French, not so much in English. But this is where I can ask like questions about the process implemented in other companies, tools they use, any RevOps related topics. I can get a good inspiration there, and it's a like opened community, so you can just ask to join it, and related to your position, they admit you. And there is also a book that I've read and changed my helped me a lot in my time management. It's called in French La 25e heure.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me once. Yes.
Exactly. And this is really a helpful book about time management and productivity. So I really recommend this.
Yeah, I cannot translate it like in a second to English to the non-French speakers, but I know which book you're talking about because
I'm trying to find the title.
All right, while you try to find the title in English, let me go to the last question, because we only have 10 minutes to the end of the show. And the last question is basically to see if the person who wrote an email to Revenue Ops understood how you measure success, what your challenges are, basically if these resonated with your role. So let's do that. Just a second, I will just share my screen. So I will read it. So let's say, Lissy, Aileen, Etienne, CRM data, there you go, we start well, continues to be the source of sales performance analysis. But the leaky CRM with incomplete and stale data is not reliable for annual planning, especially when efficiency is the focus. Agree? Company blah, 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 obviously this is anonymous, is helping teams optimize their sales performance by automatically plugging Salesforce data gaps, measuring the fundamental units of sales execution, activities, and engagement, and identify success patterns that are repeatable. May I send you a short video on this? Best, John. Lissy, I'll start with you because you report to sales enablement. What's your take on this email?
So I agree with it. So unfortunately, I have spent a lot of time in the past dealing with CRMs which have rubbish data. And it can be a real pain. I've had days where I've spent the entire day cross-checking between spreadsheets and what we've got on our CRM to try and work out where the data is different. So is the question here to say whether this would be helpful to me, or?
Yeah, it's just if someone writes this email, do you resonate with that? Do you think it's good?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think so. I think especially with a migration of a CRM, so or sort of implementing it for the first time, we had at our company data stored in so many different places, whether that be a spreadsheet, whether that be in their own notes, whether that be on deal emails that we send out, and getting this all into one place, it means that there are, of course, incomplete data, and making sure that all the integrations with all the different softwares that the rest of the team use. So yeah, I definitely say that it is.
Awesome. Great. John did a good job. How about you, Aileen? Do you think this email speaks to you or not really?
Yeah, I agree that without, with an incomplete CRM, we cannot move on and prepare right KPIs that that help making decisions to others, right? That will truly impact on decision making. And yeah, that's one of our main goals, basically, to ensure data is accurate And yeah, I agree with what it says basically.
All right. Seems like John speaks to the persona. Etienne, are you as nice as Lisa and Eileen, or do you have a different take here?
No, I agree. One of the challenges that we have is gauging the maximum data on every part of the funnel that RevOps is involved in, the acquisition, the closing, the farming and churning. So, and as we are a function in which all systems are connected, data gaps are really can be really a problem. So it's really a topic that RevOps that is important for RevOps, and also the capability of sharing it and have consistent reporting is also very important.
All right. Well, kudos to John. It's funny because in every episode is quite different. The feedback that the roles give to the email that was written to them. So nice one. This was a pass. Etienne, do you have the title of the book?
I didn't find it.
All right.
I didn't find it, but every time I look for it in English, like I find it, I take time to find it, and then I forget it. But I'm gonna find it back.
All right, no problem. You can write once we publish this episode. Great, awesome. So once again, thank you so much, Lisi, Etienne, and Eileen, for joining me. It was a pleasure to talk a bit about the life of a revenues operations manager, and I will see you around.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mafalda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.